And I'm gonna wait until everybody comes back in. I lost that live, so if y'all want to come back in, I'm not quite sure. I kept going in and out, and so that's where we are. So come on back in. Let me know who you are as you come in. If you can hear this chat and you can jump out of the bushes just to let me know you're here, because I think I lost my last chat and I went off, and in doing so, I also deleted my earlier video, y'all. I deleted my earlier video by mistake, trying to delete the one I just did. So I'm kind of like peed off about that as well. So as you come in, if you can let me know, once somebody come down. I know people like to hide up and stay in the chat in the rafters and not want to come down. But if you can just hit a one and let me know you can hear me, or somebody who comes in and don't mind can let me know that they're here. Hit a one and then get back on your ladder and climb up on into the rafters. You don't have to stay in. Just hail me and then get back in. No engagement is expected if you just want to sit out in the rafters. This is sometimes a safe place to be. But as I was telling you, we were talking about the YSL trial and what's happening. So I guess I'm going to have to go back over this one more time. Welcome in. I'm Justice React. I'm a content creator. Some of you may be new to this channel. Hit the subscription button, okay? You don't have to be coming back and forth in. You can come in anytime. But subscription adds to the. Hey, Hachi. Thank you. I hear you. Thank you so much, Hachi. I appreciate that. So the subscription just adds to the count. You don't have to come in every day. It doesn't cost you anything. You're not obligated to always come in. You got things to do outside of YouTube, but it will help the channel if you do hit the subscription button and just come in every so often, whenever you feel like. Anytime you want to listen to Justice React, just come in. It'll be a part of your subscription. You can look it up and you can just jump right on in, jump in the chat. Sometimes maybe something you like and something you want to talk about. So hitting that subscription button for Justice React takes nothing from you. It doesn't add or doesn't take anything. It just, hey, helps me out for a little bit, right? So hit that subscription button. Come and go as you please. I might not see you for a month or so, right? But at least you know I'll be in your timeline somewhere and you can jump on in. So go ahead and hit that like button, that subscription button. 20 people in the chat. Look like you guys can hear me. So before I left and deleted my earlier live, which was a real good live, and I deleted it. I am so angry at myself, guys. So angry at myself that I deleted that live from this morning. Oh, man. I wish I don't know, brain fart and missed it. Hello, Latina Cruz. How are you? So that live is gone, guys. It was a great live. Guys, if you get an opportunity to, just go back and check out my different lives I have. If you're not a member, you may really want to become a member. Some great things going on in the membership only levels. Uh, we over here are majority women, so we'll be talking about a lot of things that people are willing to talk about and share in the membership only lives, especially when it comes to women's health. And I feel that's something that we can actually uh, get going as well at times. So it may not be every day, but something may come up and somebody may have experience and we can go ahead and talk about it. Hey, Ms. Watts 2006, how are you? So yeah, that's something you can consider. I am also so yeah, so let's talk about where we were at. Where we were, and I may have to repeat myself because that live is gone from earlier. We're talking about the YSL uh young sleazy what's slimy, y'all know it's slime and young thug trial, Rico trial, right? As y'all know, if you've been following me and other content creators surrounding this trial, it's still an interesting trial. Oh my, something every day to talk about, right? And so give you some background once again. It started with Glenville not recusing himself after a secret ex parte communication with the state, and the state witnesses without the defendants being present or the defendant's attorney being present. And so Glenville, who was I had called AKA Thug, AKA ADA, because he acted like he was a part of the state and not an impartial judge. Um, so that's why he got the name ADA. Hey, forgiveness, how are you? And so that's how he got the name from me, Thug, because he carried himself like a thug in the courtroom, and he carried himself like an assistant district attorney. So he had two names coming from me. Um, so he was recused. He wouldn't recuse himself after motions were made for him to recuse himself because he had this secret meeting and the defendant's attorney wanted another judge to oversee and see if this meant for him to be recused. And he refused to recuse himself. So that the attorneys for the defendant motioned, Weinstein motioned for the recusal. Weinstein motion was kicked back, and then he put it back in. Judge Cross was appointed as the judge to hear this motion for recusal. In the end, Judge Cross decided that Judge Granville needed to be recused. She recused him. He was kicked out of the jury, removed, not as a willing person, but they had to drag him kicking and screaming from this case, right? Because he did everything to try to stay on this case. So in the term as then Judge Cross, another judge was appointed. I believe her name was Ingram. She didn't want the case because her deputy was maybe a part of this situation because she had an affair with one of the defendants of the YSL trial. So this is why Judge Ingram, I believe her last name, recused herself. Now we have Judge Paige Whitaker. Paige Reese Whitaker is now the judge on the bench, and she is hearing status. She has a status hearing today, meaning she's just discussing the progress of the case, bringing her up to speed. Let's say this: they're bringing her up to speed, right? And they're making motions, but she's not hearing most of it. She is just listening and telling them, "Okay, prepare yourself. I'm not doing anything that is considered substance to the trial right now. I'm just listening, getting caught up, and making giving orders for people to prepare themselves, like the jury coming back in within the next week or so. Giving Judge Whitaker is letting the defense know that they got until next Tuesday to prepare their motions, and that the state has until the end of the week to respond. So that is what Judge Whitaker is doing today, right? So she's just hearing progress and being caught up on everything. Well, what did Steele do? Ooh, Steele. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Steele made some motions today. I can't recite any of the cases that he's using, but he has cited cases in regards to Glenville not recusing himself after the motion was made for not only not recusing himself, not allowing another judge to hear the recusal motion. So what did Steele do after all this, y'all? And like I say, I'm explaining it. I'm not an attorney. I'm explaining in layman's terms so I can understand and you guys can understand. So I won't be able to cite any of the cases that Steele cited in reference to this motion that he made today. I consider it a boom emotion. Motion to be made. Steele dropped the motion stating, and I wish I can cite the case, that Judge Glenville, in his refusal to have a recusal motion, have another judge look at this case. How y'all doing, Candy Jones? Because Judge Glenville refused to have another judge hear the motion for recusal, and because he decided to sit on that bench after refusing not only Weinstein's motion, who made the first motion, not only after hearing the other attorney's motion to have him recuse himself or have a judge appointed to hear it, uh, he continued this case, right? We heard this. We saw this. If you're following this case, after he refused to stand down and let another judge hear it and let another judge take over this case, he continued this case. And here we are. Y'all know what Steele is proposed in his motion. Y'all know what he's saying. Anybody know what Steele wants at this point? It can change the trajectory of this case. Y'all know what Steele asked? And the judge may take in consideration next week, because she has to get herself together, and they have to make sure the motions are not only verbal but also written, have been written. Anybody know what Steele is asking? Hey, Candy Jones. Anybody know what Steele motion was? Anybody paying attention? Hey, I'm a whole vibe. What did Steele request? Steele is saying, Judge Whitaker, forgiveness say no what? Steele said, I want all testimonies given by Woody Kenneth Copeland to be erased from the time that Judge Glenville started hearing that case, those testimony, after the recusal motion was made. Yes, he wants all the testimony. Anything. Loving me, Tracy Anderson. How you doing? He wants Woody's testimony to be erased completely. That means, hey, how you going to unerase the jury? Did the jury? No, the jury hadn't heard any. I think these were things done in motions, right? I don't think the jury was present. No, yeah, the jury was present, I believe. So what they want to do, what Steele is asking, is that any testimony, any orders given after the recusal motion, anything that Judge Glanville did, be erased, because he had no right to be on that bench after the recusal motion was made. He should have, by law, stand down, meaning stop that case, stop that trial, put it before a judge like Judge Cross, and have her decide if Judge Glenville should continue to hear it, or another judge should step in. Judge Glenville refused to do this. In fact, doing what he did, denied y'all due process to his attorney. And that's what they're going to do. Anything after this, if they do anything less than this, will be considered, in my opinion, I could be wrong, but I don't think I am, due process to the defendants. Because if the judge was not supposed to hear it, because if Judge Cross is correct in saying that Judge Glenville, once the attorneys identified him as a possible witness and also asked for a motion to recuse, have a recused hearing, Judge Glenville was prohibited from moving forward. In this case, he should have stopped, especially when all the attorneys had met the desired requirements to have a recusal judge, had to have a judge hear that motion. Okay? Judge Glenville overstepped and did everything to F up this case. Okay? Judge Glenville did everything he could do, intentionally or unintentionally, maybe both, to put a wrench in this case that, in my opinion, I don't know how you can be effective now with things and these guys get due process. because now they're also asking, here comes the thunder. Hey, they're also saying that because the impriorities of the state and the state, they're also motioning that anything done after that, even with the state's participation, will interfere with due process for these defendants. Now, this is not saying that the defendants are innocent, y'all. What it's saying is that their constitutional rights have been impacted because of the decisions of Judge Glenville and the state. And like some of the attorneys are saying, they've never dealt with anything so outrageous, so in your face corruption, right? I mean, in your face corruption, coercion, looks like coercion, optics of coercion, having these meetings, and how many other meetings were held. And this is another motion. They want to know how many other motions were, how many other meetings been held. Okay, how many other meetings, ex parte meetings, could there have been? Because it's unknown if they were talking about substantially about any substance about this case. Did the state and Judge Glenville have more meetings outside of the defendant's attorney? So we got a lot going on, guys. This is an attorney Love. I mean, ADA Love. I don't know where she's going to go with this, because now she's making motions as well today, requesting that they all show what they have when it comes to some type of evidence that she's looking for, some type of information she's looking for, and update in the progress. So she's looking for something as well, and she made a motion for that as well. Forgiveness says, wow. Loving Me, Tracy Anderson says, good afternoon. Candy said, I don't know and know what. So, yeah, so a lot going on in this case. Like I said, Brian Steele is brilliant. Watching him work with the other attorneys. Of course, all the other attorneys step forward and join the motions with Brian Steele in having. Now, here's what we have now, but this we don't know. The attorney for the other defendant, one of the other defendants, also made a motion, and he's trying to attach his case to Brian Steele, stating if the courts grant all testimonies from Carpenter Woody to be erased, can this also help, in a sense, his client as well? Because he wants to attach his client to it as well, to these motions. But he's like, but I don't know if it'll be considered hearsay at this point. So, oh, it's really raining out there. Wow. So that's what's going on there. Let me say something right quick, guys, because my chat is not moving. Hold up. Hold up, guys. So sometimes I'll go out, guys.